What is up, guys? It's Tom here and welcome to a brand new football talk video, and today I'm going to mention you all the latest Liverpool transfer news and all the players that Liverpool are linked with. And I think Jurgen Klopp will definitely buy at least one big player in the January transfer window. Jurgen Klopp himself said that with Mane going to the Africa Cup of Nations and Dan Ings getting a season-long injury, we need to move into the transfer market and dip into the transfer market. So my question to you guys is, if you were Jurgen Klopp, who would you bring in? What kind of player would you think should come in the January transfer window? I think a fast pacey winger who is similar a little bit to Sadio Mane would be perfect, because that wouldn't upset the rhythm and the fluency and the shape of the whole team. And by the way, a new Liverpool career mode is coming later today. I spent yesterday with my girlfriend, so I couldn't make a lot of videos for you guys, but from today I'm back home, so you can expect a lot of awesome career mode videos coming later tonight and tomorrow as well, so stay tuned. And yeah, so Christian Pulisic is the one player that everybody is mentioning. We bid for him and on transfer deadline day, but the thing is that because Dortmund had a couple of injuries, Pulisic is actually played himself into the starting 11 and Dortmund rate him very, very highly. And at the moment Dortmund tried to extend his contract. He hasn't signed the contract extension yet, which gives Liverpool hope, and Jurgen Klopp and Pulisic have a very good relationship, but it would be an enormous big money bid that could only persuade Dortmund to let Pulisic go in the January transfer window. So I can't see that very likely to happen. I can't really see that happening in January, but we shall try, and we should try for Pulisic. I think he would slot in perfectly, and he could, deputize in the absence of Mane. I don't really want to put Firmino on the wing or Sturridge on the wing, because that's not their natural positions. Origi could play there in Mane's position during the January month, and we have some big games. We play Manchester United and Chelsea in January, and also if we get through to the League Cup semi-final, we could have the semi-final first and second leg in January as well. So Mane will miss some big games. The other really big transfer story, and this has been also mentioned before, that Jurgen Klopp is a big fan of Bayer Leverkusen centre-back Jonathan Tah, who is an absolute beast. He's very similar to Matip, and he is playing for Bayer Leverkusen, and he's doing really, really well, especially in the Champions League. Bayer Leverkusen kept 2 clean sheets against Tottenham, which is very impressive. He joined Leverkusen from Hamburg in a £7 million deal very lately, like in 2015. He already has 2 international appearances for Germany, but it would require an enormous, very big amount of money to sign Jonathan Tah, because he's very high rated. But maybe Jurgen Klopp can do something like a bargain deal, and it would make sense to sign him in January, because I think our defense certainly needs strengthening, and Jonathan Tah, Joel Matip centre-back partnership could be actually potentially in the long term one of the best centre-back partnerships in the Premier League, because they are both very young, tall, strong defenders who have a bit of pace, and Jonathan Tah is also a big unit, and you could see that with Joel Matip. Even though we conceded quite a lot of goals, our defense looks a lot stronger than last season. And so this will be another transfer rumor to watch out for. And the third one, Mahmoud Dahoud, who is in a contract standoff with Borussia Mönchengladbach, his club. He only started 4 Bundesliga games this season, but he played in most of the Champions League games where he impressed. And actually Borussia Dortmund want to sign him. This is the latest. I'm not sure. I think Jurgen Klopp is a big fan of him. And it would make sense to go for him in January, because next summer, if he doesn't sign a contract extension, and it looks like that he doesn't really want to sign him, that's why Borussia Mönchengladbach haven't played him that much, because they are angry at Dahoud refusing to sign a contract extension. So if Dahoud waits until the summer, there will be a lot of big clubs competing for his signature. So it would be, in theory, easier to sign him now in the January transfer window. But Borussia Dortmund are also lining up a 50 million euro bid for Dahoud, and also they might send a Shahin to Mönchengladbach in a player plus cash deal. So Dortmund, I'm sure that Jurgen Klopp is watching this very closely. And I'm sure that Jurgen Klopp has a very good idea of both Jonathan Tah and Dahoud and how and where they would fit into the Liverpool team. So I fully trust Jurgen Klopp. I'm just very interested to find out how he will deal with this situation of Mane going to the Africa Cup of Nations. And if Senegal, Mane's international team, go far in the competition, Mane could be away for a whole month. So Jurgen Klopp has to be clever, and it would make sense to bring in a fast winger at the beginning of the transfer window. But the good news is that we have actually a lot of options up front. You can see that when we have regularly Origi and Daniel Sturridge sitting on the bench, and Dan Ings couldn't even make on the bench, now he's injured. But this shows that we have a lot of attacking options. We have been also linked with Arda Turan, but I don't think a player who is turning 30 years old would be on the list of Jurgen Klopp's desired players, because it would cost a lot of money and he's not getting any younger. Same with Jakub Blaszczykowski, we have been linked with him as well before, but he's also 30 years old and he used to play for Dortmund, where Jurgen Klopp was manager, but I don't think that he would go for him. Another player who would make sense is Luciano Narsingh, a PSV Eindhoven fast winger who is impressing in the Eredivisie, and it would actually make a lot of sense to go for him. Why, you might ask? Because his contract is up in the summer, so if PSV Eindhoven want to get money for him, they need to sell in the January transfer window, and I can certainly see Jurgen Klopp going for somebody like Narsingh, who is a little bit of a underrated, like kind of a hidden gem, young winger. He wouldn't certainly cost a lot of money. He wouldn't cost as much money as, for example, Pulisic or Julian Brandt, another player who we have been linked with, who is 20 years old. He also plays for Bayer Leverkusen. He's a huge German talent, but he would cost an enormous amount of money. And I don't think Jurgen Klopp would want to break the Liverpool transfer record for a youngster who would be backup. So, for example, if we could go in for Luciano Narsingh, he would cost maybe 10-15 million. I certainly think that Liverpool can more than afford that, and he could slot in place of Mane for a couple of games and just you know, tear up the right flank, hopefully, because he's a really fast, tricky winger. And I'm thinking that certainly a kind of transfer like this would make more sense to me. Felipe Anderson is another player that we have been linked with, who is Brazilian. He has been linked with Man United as well. He's quick and fast, and he plays for Lazio, but he would be also very expensive. So I'm really interested to find out what Jurgen Klopp will go for in the January transfer window. I gave you a lot of players and a lot of options of what could happen, but let me know who would you sign if you were Jurgen Klopp in the January transfer window. How would you solve this situation of Mane going to the Africa Cup of Nations? Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video and you found this informative and interesting enough. And don't worry, the career mode videos will be back. A lot of awesome content coming your way later today and tomorrow. So stay tuned, leave a like. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay awesome. See you later. Goodbye.